Hello, everyone. My name is Wayne Gladman. I am Customer Success Director at Ebsta. And today we're going to be going through Ebsta Inbox for Gmail, right? Now, this solution specifically built to bring Ebsta, or Salesforce for that matter, into the environments you spend most of your time. So Gmail and LinkedIn are two of the favorites. The first thing you're going to see here is I got an email here from Eleni, and she emailed me directly about a meeting we had. Now, what Ebsta does is we search the Salesforce database to find a matching record that Eleni is connected to. And right here, we see that she is connected to the Ebsta account, right? So from this area, you're able to, one, see the information at a glance that's existing in Salesforce, right? So phone numbers, obviously your email address, current job title that we have in the CRM, any opportunities, any activities available, but also you can access the record itself from the Ebsta bubble right here. And from this area, I can find it. First, if I hover over the little I can of course get a snapshot of that. But more importantly, I can click on the record and actually view identically how it looks in Salesforce. So this should have all the same fields, regular and custom, right? But from this area, I can view any chatter available, any open activities, the activity history, opportunities, any existing Salesforce campaigns this is connected to. And at the very top, similar functionality. You can log calls, create tasks. You can create events manually, but of course, we do have a calendar sync that I'm going to go through in a little bit that shows you how to sync up your calendar to Salesforce events. Same thing, campaigns, opportunities, and of course, you can open this directly in Salesforce. And then also you can edit this record on the fly. So if you access it and you see something that's incorrect, you can click edit and that'll edit the existing record. Right? Now, one thing that I always go through on all my trainings is the best thing to get in the habit of when you're using Ebsta is the ease of accessing records. And you can do that by whenever you see a record that appears in the blue bar, be sure to know that you can always click on this blue bar to be directed straight to the appropriate record. So for instance, I'm on Eleni's, I got an email here from Eleni. I want to access her Salesforce profile natively in Salesforce. Quickest way to do that, click on the name. It directs me straight to her contact profile, right? So if you really get in the habit of doing this, it can shave a bit of time off your workflow in terms of accessing records much quicker. This is opposed to the standard way of Salesforce, right? You go into the search tab, and you search for the record right up here. So this is just done by clicks, no typing. Ebsta will do everything for you. Okay. Now the functionality is similar when it comes to LinkedIn. If I go to a LinkedIn profile, right? I'll refresh this here and we can actually see, we'll do the same exact thing we do in Gmail where we automatically search the Salesforce database for a matching record. So for instance, I go to Eleni's profile right here. And the information populates in the blue bar. Same functionality, click on that blue bar, direct you straight to the record, or you can access the Ebsta record directly from, or the Salesforce record directly from the Ebsta bubble right here, right? And also a cool little hack you can always do with Ebsta is anytime you're on any website, that includes LinkedIn, right? You see a bit of text, something you want to take a closer look at or search the Salesforce database, just highlight that text, right click on it, do Ebsta search, and that'll actually force the blue bar to find any matching criteria to that text. Okay. And the next thing we want to go through is the sales enablement aspect of Ebsta, right? Now, this functionality was specifically built to make your life easier, right? Do exactly that. Enable salespeople, customer success people, anyone who really sent in emails for that matter, to make their lives easier. And this is kind of a Swiss Army knife, if you will, of just a various amount of tools that you can have at your disposal, use anytime. And they're all listed at the bottom of any composed message that you're sending. And the first thing you want to see here is send later. So you have the send later button. This is something we can schedule an email to go out in the future. So all you got to do is select the day. So we'll select Friday, right? And I want to make it seem like I'm getting up super early in the morning. So what I'll do is I'll make this for 7:13 a.m. the following day. We'll schedule that. This email will get saved as a draft and then go out at that designated time. Also, you have the ability to send and add emails to Salesforce. So as activities, right? This is a great way. You always want to be documenting communication that's going on. So if I want to email Eleni back, right? I want to document my communication against here. Well, here we'll just do, because I want to email her from the one that she sent me, right? So I'll click copy and I'll copy this in here. Now, if I'm going to be emailing Eleni back, I'm going to make sure I get this saved into Salesforce. So we auto search what's already in that to field at the top, right? But you can always search various objects. So if she's listed on, or if we want to make sure this gets logged against an opportunity or any other object in Salesforce where maybe she's not inherently linked to, I can search objects right here and add them. And that way it gets saved to the activity history of that record inside of Salesforce. Okay. Now, once I have everything selected, there's two options you have here. You can obviously just send the email directly, just send it, fire it off. Or if I click add on send, this will basically just highlight it and allow me to go back to the body of the email and continue working on it in case I'm not done. Okay. The next thing you have is Salesforce email templates. Right. So from this area, you can access the full list of Salesforce email templates available. Right. So these are stored in Salesforce, but you can access them directly from your inbox, choose the one that you want, and we'll import that directly into the body of the email. Right? Now, the next thing you have is email tracking. Email tracking is basically designed for you to understand what's working and what's not in terms of open rates and reply rates, right? So when you first start using Ebsta, you always want to make sure that this is turned on. Once you have this turned on and you send your first email, this will stay on. So all emails should be being tracked after that. And then once emails are being tracked, you're going to be able to see all your tracked emails by clicking on the satellite dish icon at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Expand that open. And you can see first off, all tracked emails. Now I haven't been tracking a lot of emails to Eleni, so those are not shown. But as you track more emails, you'll see the information populate here. But what you're really going to get value out of is if you see the tracking analysis button. You click on tracking analysis. This takes you to the Ebsta console where you can actually see unopened versus opened email rates just for yourself. It starts off with, right? And then also spaced out between subject lines. So which subject lines are getting the highest open replies, which templates are getting the best open replies, campaigns, which I'm going to go over next, email, which is email cadences, and also links. So which links are getting the highest click rate. Right? All this information is being tracked. And of course, you get a summary at the very bottom. But more importantly, what we really want to pay attention to is how everyone else in the company is working, right? What subject lines is everyone else using? What's getting the highest click rate? Well, you can do that by clicking on all users, and it pulls a report for everyone. Right? So right down here, now I can see what are the best subject lines out of the entire company. What are the templates, the best templates out of the entire company? Which campaigns or cadences that I'm going to go through next? Which ones are working the best? And also which links are getting the best click rate? And then of course, same thing, summary available at the very bottom of everyone involved. And then of course, you can also team search. So if you want to search just one individual, you have the ability to search that right here. And then also you have the ability to space this out by a number of days. Going back to the inbox here, the next thing we have is email cadences, right? That's this megaphone icon right here. So what email cadences are designed to do, they're designed to get a response, right? That is the main goal of an email cadence, right? So it's in no way similar to a marketing campaign or something like that. These are emails that are going to be coming directly from your inbox. You're going to look in your sent folder and they're going to be individual emails sent out, right? So what we can do is if we click on the megaphone icon, we click on new campaign, and it first takes us and prompts us to build our very first campaign. So what I can do here is I'm of course going to want to name it. We'll call this one just webinar invite, and I want to create my first email. So here's where we can actually start building the email from scratch. Now we have a number of merge fields available. This way, when you add people to these cadences en masse, we'll just auto-populate names, email addresses, company names, your calendar link, all this good stuff just in the body of the email, right? But you can also just access Salesforce email templates from here. So we'll just do that. Click save, and I got my first email built. The next thing you have the ability to do is you want to create the second email, right? But first we want to really pay attention to the logic that's available, right? So if no response in 3 days, I want it to trigger the next email. So here's the next email. Same exact idea. I'm just going to create another from the cadence here. And I click save. And we're going to make it go one more here. Now it's good to note, right, that this can be spaced out by however many days, but also minutes, hours, weeks, or instead of if no response received, you can do a wait time. But mostly what a lot of people I recommend is if no response, because that way, if someone does respond to one of these emails, it removes them from the cadence, right? It's not looking to spam people. It's just looking to get the response. So if someone literally responds back, unsubscribe, which you get a lot of time with emails, right? They think they're on some kind of cadence. It'll still remove them from that. But at least the idea is once someone responds to you, you can continue the conversation because the cadence has done its job, right? But as we build this cadence to however far we want, one thing that I kind of, whenever I'm talking to people about cadences, I always recommend, it's something I do with my cadences, is say for if no response in 3 days, instead of sending another email, let's have it create a task in Salesforce, right? So what the task will mean is I get a task created, I come in, I see all these tasks created. That means that people haven't responded to the emails that I've been sending through the cadence. That prompts me to call them. So what I'll do is I'll create this task to end off my cadence. So I'll give them a call, click save, and I have this available here. And you can probably see on the right-hand side as well, there's a few different directions you can take it in. If they do reply, you still have the ability to send another email or create a task in Salesforce if that's what you want. But the idea is to create these and make these unique to yourself. Make these unique to the customers that you're going to be sending them to, because the idea is to get the response. And one you have to do is you build a good one, and then you add people to them, and then this cadence will be doing the job for you. No longer will you come in and see who hasn't responded. These cadences will automatically follow up. So you can double or even triple the amount of emails that you're getting out to prospects or customers every day, really, with doing the same amount of work, right? Now you also want to make sure that you view these, send weekdays only, as well as send follow-ups as replies. I always recommend send follow-ups as replies and send weekdays only. Obviously, that's when people are working. And then if you send follow-ups as replies, that means previous email. We at least have a record of who's sending, of what that we've already been sending emails specifically. But once this campaign looks good, right, we'll click save. And great, we have a campaign saved. So that's our very first campaign. Now, if we go back to our inbox, say I want to add a Lenny to a campaign now. I click on the campaign megaphone icon again. There's my new campaign I just created. I can click on that. And what it's first going to do is, because I have a Lenny already listed, it just auto-populates the information available to add her to this campaign. This is just individually if I want to add. The other options you have, and it's good to note that we also want to be able to send these en masse, right? So if you click on add recipients, you have a few different options. So the first one being, you can actually build a list inside of Salesforce. So for instance, right here, it's prompting me because it wants to send to Eleni, but I could add someone else. So let's just add myself, yeah? Right, now I'm added as well. The other option you have is Salesforce View. This is a Salesforce contact or lead list we can pull from. So you already have a lead list or contact list that you built in Salesforce. We can use that as a base to be adding people onto a campaign. There's various lists and views available that you can see. These are all coming directly from Salesforce itself. The final thing you have is a CSV doc. This is probably what I use the most. It allows you to create just an Excel doc. These are directions. All it requires is just 4 simple headers: first, last name, email address, and company name. But as long as it's formatted correctly as a CSV file, you can upload that directly here. And then, of course, keep that on hand. So if you create other cadences, and that list is specifically tailored to say it's all executives, and you want to make sure that those are on there, you can have that on hand and just add people at will to campaigns and cadences. Just be clear, I use campaigns and cadences interchangeably, just to not confuse anyone. But once all looks good, right, we click cancel. I'm going to just cancel out of this and go to this next one. I want to actually send it to just Delaney. So I want to just add her to this campaign. Make sure I select the appropriate one. It's also probably good to note that at the top here, if you see multiple people listed, this means that you have access to other people's inboxes. So you can actually send in lieu of somebody else if you wanted to schedule a campaign for them. But usually it'll just be your name listed here. And once all looks good, before I hit select, I probably want to just pay attention to Salesforce Campaigns. This is something, if you're using Salesforce Campaigns in Salesforce, we integrate completely with this. So this Salesforce Campaigns are a great way to tracking of where leads are coming from. So if you have if marketing has a specific campaign they've created for these cadences, it's a great way to track what the ROI is on how many responses we're getting, where leads are coming from. If people are booking meetings off these cadences, which hopefully they are, you can select an appropriate Salesforce campaign to connect them to. Right? And that way, for tracking purposes within Salesforce, you can get a lot of value out of that. Okay. And then also you have the various features that we previously went over. You know, these emails will get added to Salesforce. You can delay send if you wanted to. For this, I'm going to actually send it today because I want to add her to it. And then also email tracking will always be on. I click select. Okay, and I click send. Right? And now the campaign is successfully scheduled, right? So I can send that out. And then again, like the logic that I've already created, it's going to be following up with if there's no response automatically. And then I'm going to get a task created at the end of the day or at the end of the campaign itself, right? Now it's also good to note that when these campaigns are sent, right, you have the ability to manage these campaigns, right? So if I go back into the campaign that I just created, I click on people and I can see there's Eleni. She's been added to this campaign. And then you have a few options. If say I just want to remove someone, you can stop or pause this person on the campaign. But obviously if you add these people en masse, right, you're going to see a full list of people available. Okay. Let me click on the compose button one more time. We're going to show this final feature available. And the final feature you have is the calendar link. So this makes it much easier to be booking meetings with people. All you have to be doing is click on insert calendar link. People can click on that link. And what they can do is they're going to be directed to the actual, to view your Gmail calendar. So this is your Google Calendar, right? The user can select the time that works best for them and then book a meeting. You'll get a notification that someone has booked a meeting with you. And then it's as easy as that. So you never have to kind of go back and forth trying to figure out a specific time. It's just trying to make it a bit easier for you to get meetings booked as quickly as possible. Right? Now this campaign, or I should say this meeting scheduler area can be fully customized. So if you click on the button, click on setup, it's going to take you to the console area, the meeting scheduler. And you're first going to see what the email is going to look like when someone books a meeting with you. Booking period, so standard 30 minutes. Meeting padding, so you're not getting booked back to back. Minimum versus maximum advance notice, you want to allow people to give you through the link. And then if there's only a certain window of your calendar you want to show, that'll be represented here. Obviously, if there's stuff already on your calendar, we'll respect what's already there. But if you only want to share a certain window, that's where you can designate. And all you got to do is click on it. It updates automatically, no save button. And then at the very bottom, this is how the calendar page looks. So what gets added here or updated here will represent how this gets shown. So your actual calendar booking area. And then finally, what do you require from them? So first, last name, email. You can add in unique fields if you wanted to. So company name, purpose. You can obviously make it required. Right? So when the user actually clicks on, I want to book this meeting, this is what they get prompted with. So those are the front-end sales enablement tools available, right? But once emails are sent, it's also probably good to note that whenever you're going into an email, you still have the ability to add emails to Salesforce after the fact quickly with the lightning add, or you can search objects right here, or you can just search your Salesforce database for the email you're looking at. Okay. And then the very final thing I probably want to talk about is calendar sync, I would say, right? So we have one of the best calendar syncs on the market. So I recommend anyone who's using our tool, you want to make sure that you sync up your calendar with Ebsta. This is done through the console. So if I just go back to the console area, you click on the 3 lines at the top, you should have calendar sync available right here. Click on that. And then you want to set up your sync between Salesforce and Gmail. Okay, so this will sync up your Gmail calendar with your Salesforce events calendar. It's a bidirectional sync, syncs up every 5 minutes, right? So this is great for tracking. So if you're looking to track how many events are getting booked, who's booking them, anytime you go to a record in Salesforce, you see that a booking has been made or an event has been created, they'll be linked to the appropriate records based on that email address. So it's very important to have an accurate calendar sync with Salesforce, and that's what Ebsta really likes to make sure that all of our customers are set up with. So that is Ebsta for Inbox on Gmail. Again, my name is Wayne Gladman on the customer success side. I may be your success rep with Ebsta, but I may not be as well. But feel free. If you have questions, customer success is always here to help. So we always want to make ourselves available. Please reach out with any questions, concerns, additional training. That is our job. So please never hesitate to reach out to us, and hope to speak soon. Thank you so much.